cool. If I, the middle one's not my degree.
Okay,
That
it's good that it's up then.
is
Just
up there because
pretend that it is.
I used to own a pub that I sold 3 months ago, and all the walls going up to the toilet had all like like the old shitty cartoons.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I sold the pub, I took them with me, and that's only about 10% of them. All the rest are in my front garage. So I just grabbed a handful, and stuck them up. The thing is because one of my regulars bought me a lordship.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. I know you can get them online, can't you?
Yeah, so it's a Lord Daniel Farr. Like I think it's a bit of land in Sealand. So
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, well, at least that's more land than I have, or probably ever will own. So,
it,
congratulations to you.
I think
Good sir.
it's a meter squared. It's a thriving community. The ants are doing very well. I
Yeah.
go I go see my meter plot ever so regularly,
Has
and
it been gentrified yet?
um, no, it's still very male ants, female ants. We'll keep it there. We did have some black ants try to come along once, but we snapped that out in seconds. We're very
Well,
my meter. Uh, I am the lord there,
gentrification's
but I
money.
don't make the rules.
Gentrification's money, mate. Like, as in, like, has it sort of like been built? As is there like a Costco on it yet, or is it not reached that point?
No, I mean I tried to put a silly straw in it, but it was made out of plastics. Then I had to do the emission tax. It was just it was a ball ache, to be honest.
Yeah, an estimated bill ended up getting
Exactly.
posted to you. Yeah, okay, I understand that, mate. You can't have anything nice these days, can you?
It ruins it. It ruins it. I mean, I could take Andrew Rayner's advice and maybe try and get a second bit of land. Try and not pay stamp duty on it. But yeah,
Well, look, at the end of the day, at least you got a nice certificate out of it. Okay, that's saying something, isn't it?
it is. But he could have spent £15 more and made me a duke. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, but yeah, you don't want to be a paedophile, though, do you? Really?
I, I mean, okay. First of all, no.
No,
I don't
I
even know
think,
an that one
I
for a
think,
second.
I think that was
Uh,
£15 well not spent.
yeah, but I'm happy it does say Prince Andrew of Sealand. I'm glad
Yeah,
they did clarify that bit. It wasn't just Prince Andrew's now side gig is going
yeah.
around making young men.
Well, you don't want to be Prince Andrew of Seaman, do you? So yeah, that's probably yeah. Sealand is better than Seaman, isn't it? Okay,
Exactly.
fine. Yeah, I think you dodged a salty bullet there, mate.
Very salty, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. If I offered you now career, fame, and money, would you take a bullet load of Prince Andrew semen?
What for all three?
All three.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it for one, to be honest. Yeah.
What's the
Almost.
priority? Fame, money, or freedom?
I don't think it's free. Does freedom even exist? I think yeah, freedom first, mate. We all want to be free, don't we?
Yeah,
Free from the shackles that is life.
agree.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I love doing this pod now because I mean I'm like so I've monetized it now, so I'm sort of like just living off doing this.
That's nice, man. That's
Yeah,
nice. You've managed to convince so many people around the globe that your certificate has some type of authenticity. I like it. Yeah.
I challenge that. I can actually change my passport to say Lord Farr, but I feel like if you do, you can only do that when you're in like your sixties, seventies.
No, I think
Otherwise,
you
you just
if
look
you
like a
if
wanker.
no, you have to wear a crown or at least a cape wherever you go. You
I
have to
do wear a
really go
cape.
with it. Yeah, so then change your name.
Yeah,
Go with it. Change it on your passport. Wear that cape proudly, because if that's what you want, what you would do is what you will be, mate. So just be a cape.
and just walking towards. I mean, so I'm even fucking. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sit Down for Stand Up. I have with me Daniel Springford. Now, met Daniel, met slash saw slash fell in love with you about a couple of weeks back in Essex. I'm not gonna suck his dick only metaphorically on this one. Been doing about 9 months now, and you're already headlining spots because you're absolutely killing it.
I wouldn't sound kidding. Yeah, probably yeah, about a year have been going now. And yeah, I mean, being asked to headline sort of like a couple of gigs here and there. I'm meeting comedians as I'm going along that are either starting to run their own gigs or know people that run their own gigs, and then you get introduced, and then you do one performance. People say, "Oh, you're funny," and then they put you on, and then they ask if you can headline because I come with a an array of abilities, especially being able to do longer sets. I like being up on stage for longer, so I guess that's why I get offered the headline spot because I have the ability to do those 15, 20 minute sets
Yeah,
consistently. So, yeah, it's nice being asked to headline. A lot of pressure because I like to change up my material all the time. But,
yeah.
it comes with the territory, doesn't it? So yeah, it's enjoyable.
Pressure. What pressure? God, not me to
Yeah, I
quote
mean,
one of
it
the
depends
fucking
how
legends.
hard you want to work, isn't it?
No, I'm
I don't,
joking. No, there was that fucking gripe. Who was the English female woman who everyone's so like,
English female woman.
football
Fuck
player,
knows.
female football player who did that really cringe pressure. What pressure?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I remember the meme. Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't know the name. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, pressure. What pressure?
yeah. I mean, I was there. I'm there on. I begged Ben to get on it because my mate Paul's coming up from Bristol to gig it, and I was like, look, I don't want to come see you a second time and not fucking jump on the set. Otherwise, I'm gonna start looking like a phony. So
Yeah, man. I mean, because you said you've only been going like 3 months, haven't you?
yeah,
So like you got to get out there and start doing some shows, man. Like the Ginger Giggle Club is at the moment it's like something that's kind of like I've been there from the very start of it.
mm.
And it's grown quite a lot. And realistically, getting on board with it now, you're kind of just coming around the time where events are now ticketed paid, sort of prepaid ticketed events. More people are coming and the venues are getting bigger and the comedians are getting stronger. So it's a nice gig to be a part of, really.
And also Ben's an absolute top lad.
Yeah, he is, man. He's another lover of mine. I do like Ben quite a lot. Me and
Yeah.
him get along quite well. So yeah, it kind of yeah, it's nice when you sort of like meet comedians that you get along and you gel well with. Because a lot of time in this industry, because a lot of people's senses of humours can be like very similar and stuff like that. I think that you don't end up rubbing people the wrong way, but I think tensions can be quite high for a comedian. Everyone's always in their head. So if someone comes on loudy lad, blah 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 like that, it can be construed as me. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Oh, do you know what? I've never asked this question before, but I 100% agree with the statement or my own thought process on this. If you never spoke to a comedian before, okay, you've never
Yeah.
spoken to me before, but we're on the same bill. You go up and watch me perform. Do you reckon you could base whether you'd like me or not as a person on my set?
Well, do you reckon I can or I should? Is
No,
that what you're
no.
asking?
Do you reckon like so? You know, watching someone, he'd be like, oh, he's the type of bloke I reckon I could get on with.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it depends on what, obviously, because I know sometimes, like when you see someone set, a lot of time you can tell that they're putting on an act, which is fine. So you see past that. It depends how strong that act comes across. I've seen some people that dress up, and do accents and everything. Then when they come off stage, they're normal people, and then you're
Yeah,
kind. So I can't in my head doesn't go. I can get along with this guy because he's dressed like an alligator and he's got a rubber ring around him. Like that's something that doesn't have any sort of like I don't have any common interest with that. But people that talk about things that interest me, yeah, definitely. It depends really, but yeah, I mean, I do find that if people are brave enough to talk about subjects that I think about and I laugh about it, definitely, like I want to talk to that person and sort of see where their thought process came from. It's interesting, isn't it?
yeah. Alligator was a really weird one to go to.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was the most sort of like I've been playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid recently, and that's that's an outfit you can dress up as to go as camouflage. So that comes straight into my head, you know.
Well, my go-to is for character comedy. There's a guy, and I always try and put people onto him. His name's Frank Sinatra.
Frank
Have
Sinatra.
you heard
I've
of him?
not heard of him, no, but I want
So
to.
he does like a collaboration of Frank Sinatra and Hitler, and he does
Okay,
Frank Sinatra songs in the form of Hitler.
sounds politically correct, doesn't it?
And
Yeah.
but thing
Okay.
is though, but he bangs out comedy unleashed, and he is brilliant.
Are you sure
But
it's not just Kanye West? It's just
reincarnated.
it's just Kanye. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you're just describing that. Yeah, he does this really good song called All Day. Yeah, I've heard of him, mate. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
But things like
Okay.
I did it mine way and things like
Yeah.
that. And he is fucking hilarious. But it's like obviously they are not his beliefs.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's a
Understandably, yeah.
complete misinterpretation. I mean, so we literally said just 5 seconds before I pressed record because um, how do you find gigging in like different places in comparison to London?
It's weird, man. I've always been the oddball wherever I've gone anyway. So, I guess like when I go gigging around different areas, it's more just like, am I going to be the oddball in this area or not? And if I go to an area and I'm not the oddball in that area, that's fun. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm kind of like, wow, here we go. Like there's some context here. There's something I can go off of here. Because a lot of the time, yeah, when you just go around these areas, either you're on your own or with my missus. A lot of the time, there's a bringer event or something like that. You go to all these weird and wonderful places, and there are so many different types of people all around, even just the country, just an hour away from you. People live so differently
Yeah,
and have different senses of humor. So taking my sense of humor away from where I live and branching out, I enjoy it. It's a thrill. It's fun, man. It's well
yeah.
fun.
Oh yeah,
Just going
complete.
and just going and being a fucking idiot everywhere and just seeing if that sticks. It is literally throwing shit to a wall and seeing if it sticks. I've got something funny to say. Go to Essex. Do I say it? Does it get loads of laughs? Sometimes. It's most of the time. Yeah. If it doesn't, I'll rework it. But it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, going for only sort of like 9 months, how have you got yourself into the position where you are already?
Desperation, man. Desperation of other people's approval. No, I guess it's consistency. That's all it is. This is all I've ever really kind of enjoyed, if that makes sense. Like, as in,
Right.
if you look at my feed on Instagram, it's just like it's comedy, it's stand-up comedy. So it's just like loads of different comedians, just all the time. It's just funny stuff, like memes and shit like that. It's just funny stuff. I like laughing. So I surround myself with laughter every single day. And I've grown up watching, the greats, and with my family, my mum, my dad, they love stand-up comedy. And from a young age, kind of them, sort of watching that and being a part of it and seeing how happy it made them, and then acting that full to my family and my friends and getting that response back. Um, it's just kind of been quite easy to get into, just kind of that's what I would like to do. How do I do it? You Google it, and there are ways and avenues to go down to
You
do
did?
it,
Did you do a course or class?
Yeah,
Oh, you did. Okay, cool. Yep.
so I've done I did a course which was I can't even remember the name of it now. It was ultra comedy, I think
Oh,
it was,
okay.
something like that. Did like the ultra course, and the thing is I'd already done comedy before this course.
Right.
Like five years ago, I performed at the Comedy Store. I did like the Cavendish Arms. I did like Funny Feckers. I got myself on the circuit like 5 years ago. And then all of a sudden it kind of just drifted off because my work took over, and getting into London on the train for showtime, I'd have to leave at like 4, half 4 to get in for like half 6, 7 o'clock. It was quite difficult. So I kind of left it where it sort of lied. I always had it in the back of my mind. And then about, yeah, a year ago, I sort of thought I want to get back into it, but things have changed. So I
Yeah.
started Googling it. And the more I Googled it, the more like adverts popped up on Facebook and stuff. And this advert popped up for like stand-up comedy course. I thought, I know the premise. I know what I'm doing in terms of joking and how to make people laugh on stage. It's more, I want to network with people, meet like-minded people, and find out where shows are. So that's what I use the course for. And it worked. I met some great people, and, opened loads of doors out of it. So it's quite a good thing.
I guess it was good doing the class with. I mean, I've never done a class, but I consider myself a student of comedy just by the pure amount I watch. And to be honest, this podcast is the cheap version of a class for me. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
Like, I've sat down fucking Adam Bloom. Like, do you know, what I mean?
well,
People pay for that shit. But it must be good to have a good frame of reference going into it.
this is it. I mean, because I've always been a bit. I've been in two minds about these courses, right? Because some of them, I think, like people have bad experiences and say that they can be a bit of a cash grab, right? I didn't have that experience.
I do
I
get
had,
that.
yeah, I understand it because obviously, but where I lie is that it's very difficult to teach funny, isn't it? Like, as in,
That's what I think.
y-
So I say, I'll go and let the dogs out. They're about to be barking arseholes.
that's fine, mate. You do what
Hello,
you need to
bark.
do.
There you go. Fuck off. So,
If
do
I let
that,
my
chance.
if I let my dog out, it'd just be my knob on camera, and we don't want that. So yeah.
That's just,
Um,
I'm always yeah. I always try to yeah. I'm in shorts, like fuck it.
I mean, I'm bottomless, mate. I got nothing on going on down here, but that's
It's a
that's just the
niche,
way.
isn't it? But it
Well,
works.
that's the way that Zoom calls work, isn't it? I was told that like doctors and stuff like that, they just wear no bottoms and they just like all business up top, all sexual tension at the bottom. Yeah.
It's like I was my twin's a doctor, and he's
Really?
He's in Lanzarote at the moment. He said, "Do you know what my three favourite words are?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "Oh, DNR makes the job so much easier."
Wow.
You go there. Oh, I ain't got to do anything. No resuscitation. I'm off early.
Yeah, I've got a joke about do not resuscitate. Actually, it rests warm with me. So yeah, I enjoy that joke.
Okay, I've got. Oh well, you're gonna hear it on Saturday. But I do quite a strong bit about my twin being a doctor and all that. But do you know like when a doctor declares somebody dead, they
Yeah,
get
yeah.
on the
Time of
death.
death. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they because their name's on the certificate and all that. They get paid £82 in cash.
Do they?
Yeah, they call it ash cash.
No, fuck off.
Genuine. They call it ash cash. Then I go on about how my twin made a mint during COVID. Like
Wow.
he's
Yeah, yeah, because everyone's dying.
everyone's died.
He's getting to different places pronouncing people. Like he's
Exactly.
like, fuck, where I
Well,
needed, buzzer off, bang. I need to
yeah.
pronounce him. Got there before you did. Fuck off, John. Yeah.
He was doing them online via text. What was the reason of death? COVID.
Yeah, all right, cool, done. 82 quid. Yeah, pop that in my pocket. That's a couple of pints done.
But he's just bought his house in Scotland right next to a care home. He goes in there every day to network.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But of course he's bought a house in Scotland and costs £4 over there.
Oh, well, what I'm doing in 2027, because he lives in Inverness, my mum's going up there, my older brother's going up there, I'm going up there in 27. Inverness, I found a lodge I want. There's on Loch Ness, and it's 130 grand for a three-bedroom lodge. And I'm just going to go up there, buy it outright, and just live like a hermit.
Yeah, I mean that sounds afford. I just need about 129,500 pounds more, and I should be good to go. So yeah, that's near enough affordable, isn't it? I love how we talk about affordability of hundreds of thousands of pounds, but it's not affordable, is it?
Yeah. I mean, have you checked behind the sofa?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, exactly. I don't have that kind of cash lying around. I mean, I do comedy. I don't think I'm ever going to have that type of cash lying around. But there we go. That's...
I don't know. Like I said, you're doing very, very bloody well at the moment. So what would you want out of comedy? Come on, you bum butts.
What do I want out of it?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know, man. It's weird because I've always said that I mean I don't do this for the money. I mean I've been paid a fair few times for a lot of gigs,
yeah,
and I've earned quite a bit over the last sort of like 10, 11 months, which is really nice to know
yeah.
that I can earn money out of doing this. Um, but initially I never thought that money was a possibility while doing comedy. So, what kind of makes me, I guess the reason why I guess I'm doing it is just to kind of leave a piece of me wherever I go. It's a bit weird.
Okay.
I quite like, like I said to you, I like being the weirdo in the room. And I like kind of talking about my problems, which I feel that a lot of people experience in their day-to-day life. And I kind of like to take everyday problems and make them seem a lot less problematic than what they are. Just to kind of make people probably feel better about it. Like
Okay.
I accept that I have issues myself. I admit to those, and then I talk about how these issues affect my day-to-day life. That's kind of my angle.
So I always do it from the perspective of cheap man's therapy.
What do you mean? As in, yeah, as in you're doing this because it's cheaper than therapy.
Yeah, it's easier just to
Yeah,
get things off your chest, and it's weird because most comedians end up being like introverts in real life, but then they go on
yeah.
stage and almost like, do you know what I mean, just throw caution to the wind for a little bit.
I like hermit crabs.
Mm. Oh, your audio, Dan. Your audio.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go. Hear me now. I mean, all I
Sorry.
heard was blah 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 hermit crab. All I heard was the
Yeah,
punchline.
sorry, mate. What it is I've met a lot of comedians after shows and stuff that are kind of very don't talk to me, which fine, you respect that. And it's weird how they can go up on stage in front of all these people being like that as a person. Because as a person, me day to day, I'm happy to talk to anyone. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I do. I'm very, I mean, yeah, I'm so in your face. I might as well be called cum. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, do you enjoy the whole package of being doing like the stand up, like going there, socializing, networking, and having a laugh?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the gig, doesn't it? Because I mean, a lot of gigs, I have done some. I mean, we've all done shitters. Like I've done like gigs where they portray it to be something where it's like really special, and they like the photos look good and the rules look good, and you get there and it's just like a dingy pub in the corner, and they've left the fruit machine and the football on, and no one's
Yeah,
listening to you. And you kind of those types of gigs, no, because it doesn't feel like comedy. It just feels like you're filling a void for a dying pub or something like that.
yeah. Was it a
Whereas
bringer?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
You're
they're all
always
bringers,
I
those ones.
fucking hate bringers. Okay, we are gonna go into. Joe, fuck it. I'm doing now. I am the biggest activist against bringers. I hate
Mm.
them. They shouldn't be in the thing. It's cancer. The rest of the country is laughing at London with bringers.
So I stand on the fence about this because I agree in the sense that like bringer shows, right? They're kind of like when you're first starting out and you're establishing yourself as a comedy club, because I've done a lot of research into comedy and I've like listened to a lot of comedians' opinions on bringer clubs. And one guy's that stuck with me, he'd been around the circuit. I can't remember who it was. He wasn't anyone particularly famous, but he'd just been on the circuit for like 8 years and just kind of wrote a blog onto how he felt about the whole thing. And this was before I got into stand-up comedy. And he kind of said about bringers that, like, for clubs that have been established for like 5, 6 years and they're still bringers, they are the types of clubs that just don't want to do the work in order to get the crowd in.
Yeah,
So they rely on the comedians to do it. And that's what I disagree with because if
yeah,
you're an established comedy club, people should be buying tickets to come into, like the Comedy Store, like Backyard, like
yeah,
Top Secret, like Hot Water, like all of these places. I understand that everyone has to start from somewhere. But there are some clubs with like really strict rules, things you can and can't speak about, blah blah blah, and it's just
yeah.
kind of like,
No
well,
isms. Fuck them places.
I haven't ever performed at them because I've never even entertained the idea of signing up to them because realistically, I think comedy is a freedom of expression. And if
Yeah,
I'm already being limited to expressing myself freely, I don't want to perform there, because
true.
it's like, oh, we don't know you, Dan. We've never met you. But before you come on our stage and do your thing, here's some rules for you. All right, I'm cool with rules as long as they're to keep everyone happy and safe, but not to like stifle other people's opinions. That's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, the only one I would ever sort of agree with, and I don't think anyone would ever challenge this. No, getting your dick out.
But yeah, I mean, I think, well, I don't know. I don't know. It depends on the act, doesn't it? It depends on the act because I've seen some comedy where like the act gets completely naked, like, and it's funny as fuck. But I don't really know.
Okay, if it
I
was if it was designed for that night, and if it was an over 18 place,
Yeah, I think if it's expected, if it's on the poster to say you might see some graphic content,
then that's
then
absolutely fine. Then
because
that's
I
fine.
I as a person am happy to go and sit down and watch a show and laugh at things like that because it doesn't offend me as a person. So I think if you go in with a predetermination, you already understand what it's about, then fine. But if it's sprung on you, no, I don't think you want it just like, oh yeah, guess what happened to me today? Look at my dick. You can't do that.
No,
No.
who's there? My dick.
Yeah, you can't be doing that, mate. But
Why
yeah,
did the chicken
I
cross the road to see my dick? To
yeah,
see a
exactly.
cock? Where?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But is
Not
there anything that you would say could offend you? Is there anything a comedian could say on stage that you would get offended over?
I mean, not really. No, I
Yeah,
mean, because
I'm the same. I'm the same. Yeah, there's nothing.
it's like because at this because I mean I've been told by a few pros and stuff like that, and they a couple of like pro comedians have said to me like I asked a pro comedian what he thought about like joke stealing and comedians that are kind of like backstabby. And he said, at this stage, for you, he was like, it doesn't matter. He said, while you're still very much in the pit on the circuit, blah, blah, blah. He said, like, everyone is just kind of trying to get that same thing. They all want a regular spot, a paid spot, or a tour, or this or
Yeah,
that, blah, blah. He said, so you just kind of have to understand that everyone handles those emotions differently. So, what you kind of have to kind of just appreciate and respect is that, like, when you're in that, um, this type of stuff just if someone wants to say if a comedian wants to go up on stage and say something about me, it's like, yeah, if that's going to get you ahead for the night, great, mate, but it's not going to get you ahead in life, is it? So
yeah,
cool, well done. If I'm going on after you, I feel sorry for you because I will use that as fuel. But that's just if that's the game you want to play, that's what we'll play. But not necessarily. People won't offend me for being like, Dan's a fucking ginger autistic person. Like, let's talk about that. Like, okay, I just have. Let's go. What have
Yeah,
you got to say about it? Let me hear. You might give me some fucking context. You might give me some material. So no,
yeah.
I don't think I'm easily offended. Really, again, that's probably why I'm in this because I like the versatility of all the different acts that I hear and see and nothing really. What offends me is people that are easily offended. That's what offends
Oh, I
me.
love that. Yeah, I get offended over offended people.
Yeah, that. So, like, if someone got like the other night, I was at a Ginger Giggle gig, and Ben was talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, and he called them Joeys. Right,
Yeah.
I've never heard the term before in my life, and I have never heard someone say that that is a derogatory or offensive term for someone that is a Jehovah's Witness. Right, so when Ben said it, it took me back a bit. I was like, "What the fuck's a Joey?" And this guy in the background turned around and said, "You can't say that." And Ben said, "What?"
Why?
He said, "You can't say that." And that's what we all tell him. And the whole crowd was like, "What do you mean you can't say it?" So why? He's like, "Oh, I think it's offensive." So well, you think it's offensive, but it's not offensive, is it? And I think he just kind of he was waiting for something to attack.
Yeah.
And that's what annoys me because I'm just like, fucking hell, mate, grow up. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's so much more to worry about than words that come out of someone's mouth that aren't meant for
And
malice.
also,
You know what I mean?
if that's what you worry about in life, you're living life in the easy lane.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I actually drunk text Ben about 3 nights ago because I heard this joke and I can't believe. Also, I'll quickly go to. I'll go to it after. And yeah, I drunk it because I'd heard this, and I'm 33 years old, and I can't believe I've never heard this in my life. That ginger is an anagram for the N word.
oh, I've heard that many a
And
time. Yeah, yeah.
I'd never done. And I was like, I need to text every ginger person I know this.
Yeah, well, I mean, fucking hell, yeah. I mean, yeah, no, Ben is he dives into the ginger stuff quite a lot actually. He loved one of my opening jokes. I used to say like because the sides of my hair are grey and the top of my hair is blonde and my beard's ginger.
Yeah,
I just used to say like I identify as trans ginger, and Ben
brilliant.
loved that joke. Ben loved it. Ben loved it, and I think since then he kind of dove a bit more into the whole the whole ginger side of things. It's funny, man. Like, because I think being ginger is one of those things that it's the last thing that everyone knows they're allowed to laugh at. Because it's like gingers haven't stood up and said like we're offended by this, stop doing it. Every other like group has said no, no, don't laugh at us. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but it's weird. If a ginger person ever said that to me, I would literally respond with "Shut up, you're ginger." Like
exactly
that is
because
that's the
because
go-to
that's what I'm saying.
reflection.
Because being ginger is one of the very few things left that everyone collectively as a society can take the mick out of without getting cancelled. Okay,
My older brother's
easy.
ginger.
Yeah,
I
there you
love
go.
the guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fine. But there you go. It's yeah, I think it's just one of the easiest things you can go at without being cancelled. Like, you're like, oh fuck it.
Yeah. Joe, actually, I challenge that.
South Park did it. I can do it. That's fine.
Maybe in Scotland, I might be a little bit more, if it like McCoy's pub, and all 100 of them are like ginger, and
Yeah, they'll turn around and say, "Me and you skin out bike problems, pal." Yeah, they'll get fucking well annoyed with that.
oh, that was a good impression. That was
Yeah, I dabble in accents, mate. Mainly the English one.
yeah. I
Yeah.
can't. Everything goes back to Indian.
I don't. I mean, that'll get you cancelled at the moment. It's still not at the stage where that's okay to do.
Yeah. Well, no. The thing is, like, what do you know what? I've fucking done this twice today. I never said the pretense of the pod of the pod. I don't cut anything. I don't edit anything. I pretend it's for creativity. It's because I'm a lazy prick. But because I could cut this, edit this, tweak it to make myself look perfect. I don't because I was if you're gonna say it, you got to say it with conviction.
Well, I wish you'd do it for me, to be honest, mate. Because I mean, you're not a magician, or a video editor by the sounds of it. You don't even own a pub anymore.
I know.
You're some guy that sits at a desk with pictures. Like you are
And a
the modern
freezer.
day
I got my freezer just there full of like 99p lollies. You know,
dead bodies, 99p dead bodies.
times are hard. What can I say? What
You
can I?
are. You're the modern day Jeffrey Dahmer, man. Like you're in your flat with your freezer full of dead bodies and
I
your pictures.
wish. So,
Yeah.
do you really think I have enough space in my freezer for dead bodies?
It does look quite small, but it depends. It
No, no,
depends.
that's the office freezer. I have my house
Oh, okay.
freezer. Come on,
Oh,
you
okay.
don't think I've got more than one freezer? Grow up,
Oh,
Dad. Come on.
if you've got bodies, you've probably got more than one freezer, mate. I mean,
Yeah.
yes. You got an
I think.
American style. You show it off to your mate, so I can get four torsos in that. That's fucking brilliant. Samsung, brilliant. That is fucking Samsung, amazing. They don't show you that on the advert, do they? Say, oh yeah, this many liter capacity. But what about for the hungry murderer? How many heads can I get in the freezer? That's
Look,
what they want to know, isn't it? He's
we
going to go down to Curry's and buy one.
we actually did a bad one. Me and my older brother, we when we were growing up, we had one of them, the chest freezers, but they're like really like big, but they open up the top.
I like the ones that they have in like corner shops and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like them.
Larder freezers.
Yeah, proper like, but we didn't realize that you can't open it from the inside. So we locked my twin in one of them for an hour as a joke, being like, "Why has he not come out?" And we realized that he couldn't open it.
Wow. What did he have? Hypothermia by the time he came out?
No, he was fat at the time.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So his body started eating itself. Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
after that,
Yeah.
and by
Yeah.
an hour, I don't know how long it actually was, but it was, But we used to do funny things like when like he was babysitting us, my older brother. Like we used to like wait for the pizza to arrive and then lock ourselves in the bathroom and eat the pizza.
It's nice, isn't it? Considering he paid for it and he was probably hungry. You sound
Yeah,
like a right little rat bastard.
we had to were, but he got his comeuppance. He's the
It's
doctor
probably
now,
because
living the dream. And
when you were younger, like me, the only door in the house that locked with a lock was the bathroom. So that's probably why you locked yourself in the bathroom and ate the pizza because no other door locked, did it?
that was the point of it. So he couldn't get in. He had just to want to hear us eating the pizza.
And
Right.
even so, to this day, do you like go for a shit and think I could do with the Domino's?
I think that did no. What?
It's a very Italian way to eat a pizza
There's
on
a.
the toilet, on the crapper, with a fag.
I mean, you're gonna hear it all on Saturday, anyways. But I always do the joke like being a twin. Do you know how shit it is being the afterthought on your birthday song?
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and like, I always wanted chocolate cake. He wanted cheesecake. Did we ever get chocolate cake? Did we fuck? Nan comes up like, oh, do you want a bit of your twins' cake? No, I want the whole lot. That's how I got fat. 33 years of cake negligence.
Fake negligence,
Cake,
fantastic.
it's a thing. It's a
Yeah.
thing. You
So
know,
have you never sort of like asked your brother if you can just kind of go into work for him one day? Because he's
he's
a
not.
doctor, so you could just kind of bop around and just be like, I'm
Do
in.
you know what's worse? Dad? Do you know what's worse? He's 6'4" and skinny.
So he's not an identical twin then.
No, no.
He's
What
he's
parallel? What are you on
non-identical.
about?
He's a parallel twin. Okay,
But
so he's actually not related to you, is he at all? He's just a
IVF,
guy.
IVF.
Yeah,
So we know. But the thing like sometimes comedy just writes itself.
yeah,
And
a lot
so
of the time, yeah.
what was a film I could reference right now that came out in 1991?
A film that you could reference right now that came out in 1991. I don't
There's a
know.
6'4" twin who's really good
Oh,
looking.
Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
It writes itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a fantastic film, man. I
Yeah,
do love Twins. It's one of
yeah.
my favorites, man.
Exactly. Like he got all the good stuff, I got all the shit. Like, do you know what I mean?
So that's kind of what it is.
Yeah,
Fair.
no,
But in the end, they both get nice women and live happily ever after and have babies that are also twins.
yeah, but
And the girls they get with are twins, aren't they?
I think that bit romanticized the ending. Like that, that's not real life. That's when
Yeah.
starts getting a bit Hollywood for me.
Because real life for you is just like it's exactly the same up until the point where they meet the women. So instead of that, you're just masturbating in the corner using your tears as lubricant.
100%. Well, on my
Okay.
comedy, after the
Yeah.
twin bit is when I move on to the AI porn bit. you know,
Okay, all right. Don't ruin it for me. I want to see it on Saturday. So, we'll see each other's sets on Saturday. I'll try not to tell you too many of my jokes now so you can see it on Saturday. But ultimately, for me, I try to keep it 50-50. So half of it written, half of it not. And I try and do as much not written as possible and dive into the written if I need to. So, ultimately, it's just like, see what, fucking show up and see what happens. I don't know.
I know, but if I, because I nearly sat on it the other, oh, was it your ukulele, your
Yeah.
violin, your small instrument, used to small instruments?
I have a large instrument, but the one I bring on stage with me is a guitar shaped bag. Yeah.
Yeah, I presume there is one of them. Do you do musical comedy?
Uh, I mean, it's weird. Yeah, no, it's it's
It's the
okay.
most random
It's
prop you bring on.
Well, right, okay. So put it this way, right? So I have always admired musical comedians, and I've always admired what they do. But what has always frustrated me, and this is just ego, is when you go to a show that's like a knockout show or something like that. If someone who has musical ability or something is there, 9 times out of 10 they triumph over everyone because they are the most memorable because they have that gimmick that enables them to accelerate. And I am all for that. I don't think it's cheating. I don't think fuck. It is amazing. It's same
Yeah.
as like magical comedy, like magicians. I think it's funny as fuck, right? I do if it's done well. Um, but it's something that always piqued my interest because I grew up listening to. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Stephen Lynch?
Yes.
Stephen Lynch does songs, right? Like, so one of his songs is about his granddad dying, right? And he's American, and he's so funny. So if you type in on YouTube Stephen Lynch grandfather, it's a song about his granddad dying, or him, and it is one of the funniest uh, stand-up comedy 4 or 5 minute songs I've ever heard, and it was just inspiring to see how someone could translate pain and suffering into a musical comedy act that so many people could resonate with, even though they shouldn't.
Mm.
It's amazing. So if you haven't seen it, watch it.
All right, I'll give
Um,
that a most.
give it a go. But so basically, my inspiration comes from things like that. But I don't want to ruin anything for you or for because if you see me live, it's more fun to watch it unfold. All I would say is it is chaotic and it works.
Yeah.
It's stupidity, but it's something that just kind of grabs the attention of the audience from the get-go and keeps
Yeah.
people wondering what's going to happen. That's what I do.
Yeah. Hey, do you know
Funny.
Dominic Frisby?
No.
He's a good musical comedian.
Okay.
He's been smashing the circuit, and he does very like right wing politics. Well, not right wing politics. He does politics that isn't left wing, so it instantly
Right, okay.
becomes.
Because I'm doing a gig. I don't know if you've seen Ginger Giggle. They're doing a gig with Robert White, who's the musical comedian that's done Top Secret and
Yeah.
the Comedy Store and things like that. He's a
I've seen
blonde
you
guy with
gigs with Tom
glasses.
Slade.
Oh yeah, I've toured with Tom Slade. Yeah, I've
Yeah, I've
done.
got him coming on in the next couple of weeks. Mm.
Nice man. Yeah, he's a fucking wicked dude. He's basically he kind of took me under his wing. I did 7 or 8 shows with him all around the country for his tour, and it was sensational because obviously it was just me and him. I was doing 20 minutes for him, so he taught me how to kind of or help me get a 20-minute act together, and kind of do longer sets. You're opening for someone where they paid to see him, so it's quite a big step. And 9 times out of 10, I was successful. I did well. Some shows I needed to learn a little bit more about where I was and things like that, and it's a learning curve. And he's back on tour, started today actually, for his I think his Naughty by Nature tour. No, his Naughty by Nature tour was his last tour, but his new tour started in September. And we spoke last month, and he said that he wanted me on some dates for this tour as well. So I'm just kind of in limbo waiting to hear because normally he picks up the phone and says, "Can you do?" Yes, I can. I get there, I do it. We have a laugh, we have a drink, and then I go home, and then we talk about it the next day.
Mm. No, I think that's it's like nice and efficient. How do you sort of feel about other comedians giving advice?
So it is, and also if you ask for it, because
Yeah.
I've come off stage before and I've had people that I didn't think were particularly funny at all.
Well,
And
we
that's not
spoke
the,
about this, didn't we? Like first time I met you.
yeah. And they come off stage and they're like, oh, really like your set. I think you should do this. And it's like, okay, well, work on your own first,
Mm.
dude. Because, and I understand that people might be trying to help. And again, at this stage, it's nice to take on the feedback and understand how your comedy is resonating with other people, even comedians, because we're all people and we all think alike. So it does resonate with me, but it doesn't resonate to the point where I'm like, I must change it. It just kind of, I take it on board and I kind of think, why did they say that? Is it, that's it. So, but with people like Tom Stade and Mike Gunn, who's given me a lot of advice, and Simon Brodkin, and all these
Yeah,
big comedians who have given me solid advice. And you know, I've asked for that. I've asked them questions and got the answers I want
yeah,
back. So yeah, I really want to hear it because it helps me transition my comedic ability
yeah.
into something that's much different than when I started. I found that when I started, it was very all over the place and very sort of like fast paced, and a lot of people were struggling to catch up with my jokes. And by the time they'd understood it and started laughing, I was on to another one. And now it's more of a paced journey of chaos.
Mm. I guess yeah, it's more your unsolicited advice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I could I completely agree, and I mean I will never shit. That's a lie. I always shit on people. Um, People who do they're coming on to like their 400, 500th gigs, and they're still doing like 5 minute bringer spots. Like when I always say, if you're doing it for the love, that is absolutely fine. Like we'll
yeah.
never say nothing. But if you want to make a career out of it, like you've got to like have a metric progression.
I'm that type of guy where I do not judge anyone else's journey at all. I just kind if I meet them along the way and kind of like we bond or we become friends or whatever, or I find they weird me out or I weird them out. I don't know, right? I just kind of find that I don't really let other people's journeys affect mine.
Mm.
So if someone's doing these 5 minute bringer spots and they've been doing it for 500 gigs or whatever, I might ask as to why, or what's
I know I meant
not.
more along the lines of them giving advice.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I'll
Yeah.
never
No.
shit on anyone's journey, but like when they're like, do you know what I mean, they're on the same bill as me, but they've been doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like they're trying to do a 5 minute ones, and then
I
they're
think
trying
it
to
just
tell me how to do the jokes.
it just boils down to, mate. If you're having a conversation with someone and you ask for it, it's very different. I did a
Yeah.
gig the other night for Dave Vaughan. I love Dave. Dave's wicked. Manners and
Dave.
Mash. Vaughan.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
cool.
manners and mash comedy, and he asked me to headline, and I was honoured, because it's Dave's gig, and initially I just wanted to do it just to do it with Dave because I've met Dave on the circuit, performed with him 4 or 5 times at different shows randomly, never in advance, just showing up and he's there. We get along really well. He's a nice guy. He's running his own show. He was a semi-finalist in So You Think You're Funny this year at Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah,
He's doing really well, and I really like Dave. And he asked me to headline. I was like, all right, cool. So I went there and a headline for him. And he said to me after his set, he said to me, "What did you think? Like, is there anything I could change?"
yeah,
And I was like, "That is fucking amazing. This guy is not delusional. He's not coming off stage going, 'I killed it,
yeah.
amazing, wicked,
Smashed it,
look at
mate.
me.'" He's turning around and he's saying, "What did you think, Dan?" And it's not because I don't think it's because I'm some god that he wants to listen to. He just wants advice from other comedians that are doing the same as him elsewhere.
Yeah,
And I agreed. And I said the same to him the next day. I said, "I hope my headline spot was good for you, and I hope that you enjoyed it." And and he said, "Very fitting for a headliner. Thank you so much." And that's all I need to hear because at the end of the day, I want other people that are running their nights to know that Dan made it a good night as well. He didn't let me down or whatever, and I had fun. Everyone else had fun. And that was really nice to hear another comedian asking for feedback, honest feedback. That's because the delusion is, I think, what kills a lot of people off. You come off stage after a really bad gig and you're in your head thinking, yeah, it was fucking wicked, and it wasn't. And as a comedian, I can't turn around to another comedian going, "That was crap," because I'd hate to hear that. So I keep that inside. I think
yeah,
that's kind of like a politeness. And if someone asks me for advice, honest advice, and I like them and I know them, I will tell them. I'll
yeah,
say, "Look, I think personally that didn't work. You could do this." But that's only if they ask me. I'm never going to go up to them and go, "You should do this," because it fucks me off. No
yeah.
one wants that. No
I
one wants
think
that.
I do think sometimes you need to like yeah. If they don't ask advice, but if they come off being a wanker, they've killed the room and they have an ego about it. Sometimes I think they might need to be humbled, but
Yeah, but I
not
just don't know if
nine
it's ever
times out
my
of time, no.
place. I think they're going to get humbled eventually, and you just kind of have to let that happen. I think just if you witness it, unless it affects you personally,
Yeah,
let it go. Because I've had friends that have, we've done shows together, and I've done really well, and they've not done so great, and then afterwards you're feeling great, and they're not feeling too good,
yeah.
and the conversation is very difficult because you're feeling so good, but you want to pick them up. They want to make sure you're good. It's very difficult.
Oh, I
So
do. It's like at a casino when you've won and your mate's lost.
exactly the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
It's so fucking hard, isn't it? Because you've done really well and you make that, and then you're out there and oh, Dan, how did you do it? So look, it's not what I say, how I do it. It's more like I say it's all about enjoyment. If you go out there and you're arrogant, I don't think it's going to come across well unless your whole act's arrogant. But if you go up there and you look like you're having fun and you're playing around with people and you're just fucking about, that's what I find funny. I find it funny when comedians just come up. Like if I see like a dude that comes up, he's like 60 odd. He comes up and he's like, there's something on stage. He starts playing with it. He's like, "The fuck is that?" I piss myself laughing because you just don't expect it, you know. But it's so natural. That's what I like. I like just the silly, stupid stuff like that, you know.
yeah. Or like, from that gig, I've had Peter Withers on.
Yeah,
Yeah, top lads, and I've spoke about that gig, and when he was doing a bit, and halfway through he was like, "I've just said the fucking punchline, haven't I?" And then,
yeah.
but he fucked up on stage, but he acknowledged he'd fucked up on stage, and then he made that funny, and that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
probably more funny than what the joke might have actually been itself.
Well, I find this, right? I don't know if you find this, but I find that like so the natural the natural things that happen, like the mistakes on stage, are
Yeah,
always the funniest things, right? So if you stage a mistake, like dropping a microphone, you run the risk of annoying the guy that's hosting the event if you break it, blah, blah, blah. So you can't really do stunts with the equipment that's provided to you, but you can bring your own things to do stuff like that with. But it has to be done very well in order to be pulled off. But doing it genuinely, making mistakes like he did,
yeah.
fumbling up a line, admitting it and making it funny, what that does, in my opinion, is that kind of breeds like a very big relativity of the crowd in the room. Like people relate to that, and they're like,
Humanizes you.
it humanizes you so much, and it humbles you without like everyone's like, oh, he's having a go, he's fucked up, give him a go. Like that's funny. Come on, like that is
Yeah.
funny. And this is why when I write comedy, I don't write structured material.
Mm.
I have ideas and thoughts, and I'll be like, I'll write that bullet point down. And then on a night of a show, I'll be like, right, what am I going to talk about? And I look at these bullet points and I go, right, how can I link these five things? If I'm doing 5 minutes, I want to talk about five bullet points for a minute each, right? But I don't know where the jokes or the punchlines are necessarily. I want the first initial thought to be is the most natural, and it's
Okay.
normally the most funny. So that's what I say about those mistakes. That's because it's an initial fumble and fuck up, and it's the first thing that blurts out is hilarious. So if you've got a premise, going to the dentist, for example, and you're like, I want to talk about going to the dentist, and you just start talking about it, all of a sudden you're looking at the crowd, you see someone nodding along with you, they're agreeing with it, then you can engage, right? And then it's like it's off the cuff, but it's premeditated. I know I'm going to talk about this, but I don't know where it's going to go. That's what I like. I like the chaos.
It's like calculated creativity.
Yeah, but it's so uncalculated because you're kind of like
No, I mean
I
like
guess
you've got the ammunition in your head. Like that's the calculation
yeah,
bit. Like you've
but
got like your sort of go to
yeah,
like
but
bit.
I understand that it's something that not everyone is able to do, right? So I
I
came
can't
off
do that. I
stage. I,
cannot do that. I
I
can't do
came
it.
off. I
That would
came off
petrify
stage
me.
with. Have you spoken to Pat Smith yet? Do you know Pat Smith?
Heard the name.
So he's in Essex at the moment, and he's from Essex, and he's a ex-army boy, big beard, really nice lad. And he's now started doing comedy full time, and his Instagram is kind of like 70, 80,000 followers, maybe more. And that kind of, he does sort of like funny videos. That kind of gives him the whole, sort of like, I think the ability to be able to do stand-up comedy, if that make as full time, if that makes sense. And he's really funny. I really like him. And we came off stage the other week together. I headlined, and we came off stage, and he said to me, "He was like, mate, he was like, you're off the cuff." He was like, "I'm so jealous of that." He said, "Because I was like, but you do have it." And he was like, "Yeah, but yours is like that aggression. You find it and you pounce on it. Whereas I guess he likes to eat it and tease it out of people." And it's nice to hear other people's opinions on how you can do things, because
Yeah.
that's, I guess, where my talent lies, is finding a subject and just talking about it and making it funny there and then, I guess.
Okay. Do you sort of have a formula on how you'd go about it? So like, do you know what I mean?
Nah.
Like, say if you was like engaging the audience, you'd be like, so you'd sort of like, okay, so you'd almost like, Alien versus Predator, you'd lock on and then you'd like quickly analyze everything.
No, so I'm so bad at talking to people because a lot of the time I answer for them, and
Mm.
I've had really good conversations with people, but I have funny things to say in my head really quickly to the questions I'm asking. I don't know how it happens, and then when I ask them a question before they answer, I answer for them, get a big laugh, then they answer, might get a big, and it's a weird way to have a conversation. It's quite chaotic. There's no, so I've always said this, right? So, have you ever heard the term like dissecting a frog?
Yeah.
Right. So the dissecting a frog like they do in America, right? You dissect a frog and you learn the anatomy of a frog. So the more you
Peeling an
dissect it,
onion.
yeah, peeling an onion. The more you dissect a frog, the more you peel an onion, the more you learn about something, right? And it's the same for me with magic, right? So I have always loved magic. I've loved the effect of it. And if a magician, I've had a couple of big magicians do tricks in front of me, and I've lost my fucking head. I'm like, can you make my bank account bigger? Can you do
Yeah.
something for me that isn't just showing me what card I've got? Because that was amazing. But the thing is, if you learn how that's done, ruins it. And I've found that with comedy, the more you dissect it and you try to understand it and learn what you're doing and alter a joke, you
Yeah.
suck the funny out of it. You suck the funny out of it. I think if you're naturally funny, this is just for me personally,
Yeah.
if you're naturally funny, however you do it, I've never ever, before I've gone out for a night out with my mates, written down a couple of things and gone, I'm going to say that tonight to get a laugh. I've just gone out and had a laugh. So why can't I do that on stage? That's what I try and portray.
I mean, that to me would petrify me. The element of chaos in that, I would like my stuff. I write it all out as a script, and then I try and
Yeah.
get as close to it. That would genuinely fear me.
So I think the fear is what drives me because obviously I've got something inside me. I wouldn't say I'm scared to do shows, but I like the panic before. It's kind of like the lastminute.com thing, like as in you're there and you're like, I don't know if you got a really important meeting, you've done no research or anything. It's in 5 minutes, you're like, fuck it, I'll just wing it. It's not like winging comedy, like that. I don't want to do the work. I appreciate how jokes are structured, and there are things that I say that I repeat in my sets. So I have signature things. I've got jokes. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, they are jokes that have derived from saying things off the cuff. They're things that have come up from ideas that I've just said on stage. But what I try and do is just combine it all.
mm,
If I'm saying something funny to, like, I sexually harassed an old woman. She was like 65, 70 years old at a Ginger Giggle event. It was so funny. She was proper giving it back. And I said, "How old are you?" And she said, "I'm not telling you." And I said, "You don't look a day over 69, my favorite number."
yeah,
And she choked on her drink because she didn't expect it. And I sort of like walked towards her and just started like, being a bit sort of like, you know,
cheeky chappy. Yeah,
yeah, cheeky chappy. And she was loving it. And then I found out that she had dementia, bless her. And I said to her family, I was like, "Do you know what? Best type of girlfriend. It's like 50 first dates because she's not going to fucking remember this tomorrow." And they loved it. They said, "Thank you for giving us a really nice evening."
100%.
So I've
Always
got
an
my,
adventure when you got
yeah.
dementia.
There you go. So if I'm tailoring my stuff to something like that and that's all unfolding naturally, I've got jokes about, old people and my nan, my granddad and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I can throw those jokes in there, but I try to just, I guess it comes with doing comedy for longer. You learn, because the very hard thing for me at first, like if you write it down, then you're saying your shit and something or someone throws you off and you react to it, it's very hard to pick up where you left off.
yeah.
So that's why I decided to scrap writing it like a script and be like, well, fuck it. If I lose where I left off, I don't know where it's going to take me, and I'll eventually find myself. And I normally do, and it's great. It's just because then it can't be taken either. It's just something that like I can't really repeat it word for word. It's different every time. Keeps it exciting, keeps it fresh, and it keeps it natural.
Mm. I absolutely applaud that, and it works for some comedians. It doesn't. Some people absolutely hate going off the cuff or
Well, that's what I'm
crowd
saying.
work,
It works
but
for me.
everyone's
Some
completely
comedians
different.
can't. Yeah, some
Yeah,
comedians can't. And I always found that quite, when I started, quite strange how some people were saying to me, "Your stage presence is great." But because I inside sometimes feel like, like I'm not funny or like blah, blah. I always go through these he is and he isn't phases. I think everyone does.
yeah. But I think
But
that's because you hear yourself the most. Like when I like every like that gig I went to when I saw everyone, I was like every single person here is funnier than me. But is that because you hear your own jokes so many times, you no longer, they've lost their spark? If you write your stuff down, where
see,
yours
this
will
is
always be new.
See, this is where I kind of why I had to draw a line with writing and stuff, because I said to myself, look, I've never been funny written down. I've always been funny just kind of naturally. And some people may not believe that. Some people may think that it's really hard work. Like you said, I'm good at doing accents. Like that's what I've always done. I've just mimicked people my entire life, been a piss taker. So I guess it's just it's one of those things, man. It's just like if you're that guy that is destined to just take the piss and be naturally funny, go ahead and do it. But if you're writing it down and being robotic, or focusing on every single word that you're trying to sort of say and come out, yeah, the funny does get sucked out of that because you're beating a dead horse. So I think that's why it's kind of good to have jump off spots. I go, look, it was really funny last time I spoke about abortion. I'm going to speak about it again, but different. Last time I spoke about God and Jesus. That was really good. I've got another idea about God and Jesus, but I'm going to go the other way with it. So you have the same premise, but you just go into different branches and see what works and see what doesn't. What works, keep it.
I would treat it almost like muscle memory.
Yeah, because the thing is, man, it's I've done it where I've done sets where it's like a structured set show and it's fucking killed line for line every joke at a set, and I've gone, right, I've got my 5 minutes. Then I've gone and done that 5 minutes elsewhere and it's gone well, but the jokes that really hit last time didn't hit like that. And I'm like, why? Because it's different rooms. So if you rely on a structured same set everywhere you go, you've got to think it's always going to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Whereas if you rely on your just yourself, your natural ability, I think if you come away from a bad show, the only person there is to blame is you. You hold yourself accountable. I'm going into a room trying to convince these people that I'm naturally funny. How am I going to do that? How am I going to portray that? I don't know. I've got some things to think about, and what I always try and do is a new joke every set.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
try and do a new something new every set.
Yeah.
Just
No,
try and do
I try and do
a,
I
a
try and do that as well.
because I'm off the cuff a lot of the time with obviously my built-in stuff as well. But if there's built-in stuff and off the cuff, I want a new joke that is like joke, like an actual joke that I can take forward. And if I do that every show, just one, then eventually I've got new sets to go with. That's just kind of my vision. I understand not everyone can do that. People want to do their own set. People want to write stuff down. People want to structure it. And if it works for you, it works for you. For me, it just doesn't fucking work.
Okay. At the moment, you are headlining places. You are banging out 20 minutes, and you are fucking killing it. Do you have to remind yourself, shit, it's been 20 minutes, or are you like, oh, it's only been 20 minutes? Like, could you keep going until someone dragged you off stage?
Yeah. I mean, that's a problem as well, because obviously when you then sign up to shows and you're doing 5 minutes, um, the 20 minutes is so different to five, because in a 20 minute, you've got time to convince people that you're funny and that what your views actually are.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes is quite erratic. So I find, uh, yeah, if I'm doing 20 minutes, I'm enjoying, and normally when you're doing the headline spots, you're doing the 20-minute spots, you're last on. So if you're doing well, people kind of just are there to enjoy it. So time isn't really a factor.
Let it flow,
Um,
bro.
it flows. So I've looked down at the clock before and just kind of like sometimes Ben doesn't even run the timer for me because he's like, look, you do about 20, do what you want. And just because he
Yeah.
knows I won't take the piss, but he gives me 20. Same as with like Tom Stade. Sometimes for Tom, I did 19, sometimes I did 24, so it's just, it depends how the night's going. Because if I'm doing loads of off the cuff and then I've got a
Yeah.
load of written stuff, that off the cuff is adding to that time. So,
Yeah. And I guess
if
if
you're,
you're dead and you keep going, then it's a problem. But if everyone's
I,
loving it, then who cares?
yeah.
Like,
So I've become quite good at becoming aware if I've, n- look, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I've never
no,
had
dude, dude,
such.
dude, dude. I'll humble you in a second. Don't worry. Be arrogant.
But no, it's there's no arrogance to it really, because I always want to come on stage with just a confidence, not an arrogance. But I've never really had a show where I've like completely and utterly bombed
Okay,
up
well,
the
that's going to be
creek.
my next question. So I can't,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, up the creek, I've done. I've lasted there for a good amount of time, and also not so good amount of time. So I've had, but it's a different environment when the crowd are geared up to get you off the stage. But Do you know what I mean? As in, like, I'm very aware if a joke isn't landing or a room isn't feeling it, to either switch the subject or wrap it up and get off. Do you know what I mean? And I've noticed there are some comedians that it's just flat and they keep going. And even you as a person, as a comedian, you're just kind of like, oh, get off. But you don't want to ruin other people's time, so you stay quiet. So, yeah, one of those.
Yeah, you need to be aware of
Be
how it's going.
aware if it's falling flat, because if it is falling flat, because I have, I've had jokes fall flat and stuff before. It's like maybe that isn't for this room, and you
Yeah,
switch subjects. And to switch subjects when you've got a structured written thing, if you've got 5 minutes on that subject and the room ain't feeling it,
yeah,
what you can do, that's
yeah.
that's my philosophy. So the ability to change it up and talk about anything you want, it also keeps it so fun for me, man. It is
Yeah.
fun, isn't it?
100%. Well, I did my gay marriage joke the other day. I loved the joke, and it didn't work because people were so focused on the premise they
Yeah,
forgot there's a fucking misdirection. And then
yeah.
about 2 minutes later, I'd literally just paused. I was like, I lost you all at the gay joke, didn't I? And I just collectively saw the whole audience nod. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, well,
yeah.
that fucked up, didn't it? They laughed. I was like, okay, let's move on to something else then.
Learning curve for next time though, isn't it? Because maybe you didn't structure it the way that you did the time that it worked. It's like that's why you watch yourself back. What did I do differently and what didn't work? Was it the crowd? Was it me? And you weigh up those options and then you try again next time. Thing is, the ability to try again is what I respect the most out of
Oh, you'll
all of
hear
these
me do it on
comedians I've
Saturday,
met.
brother. You'll hear it on
Bro, no,
Saturday.
but what I'm saying is every comedian that I've met that is consistent on the circuit, like people like Drew Cripps, people like Dave Vaughan, all of these people that are really consistent that I've met, and Ben Summers, Terry Gargan, Alan Bissell, all consistent, but also at the same time they're like, it's like they keep going, and that's what I like. You keep going, you don't give up. You're like like you might have a questionable show, but you go again, you have a fucking wicked show. You keep
Yeah,
going. It's like every time you see these comedians, it's nice to see you still fucking doing it because so many people give up stuff in this day and age. When
yeah.
you keep seeing repeat comedians, you're doing shows with them. It's nice, man, because you're like, I like your mindset.
Yeah, I love seeing people progress. I know, look, ultimately, we are all out this for ourselves. My
No,
bank
but I
account
like
doesn't
seeing
affect
other
your
people
bank account,
succeed, man.
but we want to see other comedians do well also.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see everyone that I, sort of know and like succeed. Like, this is why I'm on this podcast with you. I was listening to your podcast. I actually listened to your one with Alfie Howard,
Oh,
because
he's a lad, he is.
he's one of my good mates, and I've done
Yeah,
some shows for Alfie. I won his competition that he does, where he's like, he gives you a paid gig afterwards. You do a competition with 3 or 4 other comedians, and who the audience decides who gets the paid gig. And I won that, and that's how me and Alfie actually met. And
yeah,
I went and saw him do his charity fighting he did for Ultra. Ultra do comedy.
yeah,
They
yeah.
also do like boxing. Yeah, so I listened to a podcast on Alfie, and I'm one of those guys that I like seeing other people succeed, and my friends and people in this industry, I want to kind of like hear what they have to say on comedy, because
Mm,
like-minded people, far in between this day and age.
yeah,
That's why I wanted to come on your podcast, but as you probably noticed, I talk for a very long time.
yeah. I'm trying to. God, he was like episode 44, wasn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah. Joe, you're episode 94.
Fuck me, mate. You've interviewed a fair few comedians.
Yeah, every single day I release one. Um, yeah, but to
Do
be
you, do
fair,
you put do you put the video out on like YouTube, or is
yeah,
it
video
like
goes out on YouTube. It
hello
goes,
YouTube?
back to Alfie has done. Okay, I'm not a big fan of musical comedies, musical comedians. I respect the art. It's just not for me. Like one-liner comedians. I've got ADHD. I can only listen to it for so long. No disrespect to the craft. It's
I
just not.
agree.
It's just not for me. But his deaf musical bit fucking killed me. He goes,
Okay,
"Oh,
right.
here's
So
a song I wrote for my deaf girlfriend," and then pretends to play the guitar. Like,
okay, so while we're getting on to that, Alfie has inspired me quite a bit in a few of that, because you go through and you meet different people, and I've spoken to Alfie quite a lot about shows that I'm doing and he's doing and vice versa, and we've traded ideas back and forth.
yeah,
And when I saw Alfie do the ukulele bit, obviously I've grown up with Stephen Lynch and all these other musical comedians, Weird Al Yankovic, all these type of people. And Little Dicky, I love him,
yeah,
because he's like a comedian rapper. He's fucking hilarious. When I saw Alfie, someone who is young, someone go up on stage and do something, and notice that you don't have to actually have a massive musical, even though he's got musical talent.
Yeah.
You don't have to have huge musical ability to be able to make people laugh with a musical instrument. So that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from as well. We've spoken about a lot of what I do. And I think that, yeah, I agree with you in terms of some musical comedy. It's kind of not for me. I have severe ADHD as well. So one-liner comedians, agree with you. You can only watch them for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I like being very I just like doing a bit of everything. I like storytelling. I like one-liners. I just like, I'm greedy. I just want to
The
try
whole
everything because,
package.
because whatever makes me laugh, I would like to try and make other people laugh with what makes me laugh. I have a sense of humor, so I'm there. And what makes me laugh? Yeah, fat people falling over. Of course, that's always going to make you laugh, isn't it? Right? But like, what type of joke makes me laugh? You know, is it political? No, I don't understand politics. I don't understand a lot to do with real life. I like people that are just like, again, it's hard to use a kettle. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, do you know what I mean? I like stuff. I just what makes me laugh is I will try and take that, and if I get inspiration from people, I will never take someone's comedy. I will always sort of speak to people about ideas I'm having and see what they think on it before acting anything. Because if I think Alfie's giving me inspiration with a musical instrument and I go up and do it, I don't want Alfie thinking like, "Well, cheers, mate." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I want to say to Alfie, "You've inspired me. I think you're brilliant. I've got an idea. Do you mind if I try this?" No, of course
Yeah.
not. Go
I,
feel fly free.
I respect that. Being a comedian, like when you're like chatting with like you other mates and stuff, telling jokes. One thing I've noticed I do now, if I'm telling the joke and it's not mine, I have to tell people beforehand.
Yeah,
Like, look,
because
I
you
heard
feel
this
like a
joke the other
fraud.
day.
You
Look, it's
feel like
not
a
mine.
fraud.
I heard it from dot dot dot, and I have to
Yeah.
almost like reference them out of respect.
So I had another one, which was if I say something funny to my mates, sometimes my mates might turn around and go, "Is that from your set?" And that's what upset me because I've always been the funny guy not doing comedy. So I
Yeah,
used to have people just laugh at what I say. Now there's a reason for me to say the funny things. So I tried to separate comedy in my friendship group.
yeah,
So my friends have come and seen me perform and stuff, but ultimately my friends get to see me act like a fucking idiot for hours on end, let alone paying for it for 5 minutes. So, you know, I respect that and I kind of keep that way. How I do comedy is either on my own or
yeah.
with my girlfriend, and she's been brilliant
Yeah.
because she enjoys it and she comes along with me. So, you know,
See,
it's great.
the jokes I have with my mates, I could never put in a set. Well, I could, but I don't think I'd give off the persona to do it credit. Almost like
It's
the
hard
one
in 5 or 10 minutes, especially
is,
as well, because your mates have known you for years. You go up on stage with a bunch of people that don't know you, and you say
yeah.
something you say with your mates, they're like, what?
It's like my favorite one that happened was about 3 years ago. My brother, my niece was born, and
Congratulations, three
yeah,
years ago.
3 years. And the second she was born, my mate texted my brother a countdown on his phone for 16 years.
Wow, that's
And you know,
horrible.
that is so fucking bad. But we were all just fucking dying. And like
That's
every
hilarious.
year, he screenshots the countdown.
He
Or
didn't
every
even
time
give
he
it.
tries to mug him off, he goes, "But don't worry, mate. You got 14 years and 26 minutes before I'm
That's
your."
that's amazing. He didn't even give it 18 years. That's amazing.
Yeah, was the legal cutoff. And every time my brother says like, it's like, shut up, mate. Yeah, I got 15 years, 6 months, 2 days, 3 seconds till I smashed the shit out of her. And it's
I
like
think
this
that's
is
hilarious.
so fucking bad. But as a group of mates, we know there's no actual fucking insight to it.
I think that's amazing.
It's
To be
just
honest, I would find that funny if I heard that on stage. To be honest, but I'm one of the. Do you know, right? So okay, I'll tell you a joke I heard that resonated with me for a very long time. It's so fucking funny, right? This I did downstairs at the Kings. If you've ever done that gig, I told you
I,
about it. It's
I've never
brilliant.
done it because I've never messaged between 9 and 11.
You got to call them. You
Just
can't
call them
message. You got to
9.
ring. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's just, I think because the reason it is he just wants to wheedle out woke people because they don't want to pick up the phone. So it's just like if you pick up the phone and call me, you can perform. Do you know what I mean? But if you don't
Why
want to
you're
pick up the
scared of the
phone,
phone? I mean, my first job was cold calling people for a living.
yeah, but not everyone's was, mate. There's a lot of younger generations behind us. They don't like speaking on the phone at all. They're text like that's it. That's all you'll get. So that wheedles them out. But anyway, I did this show there, and I really enjoyed it there. It's really good. I'm going to go back there.
Yeah.
And this guy came up on stage and he was one of the pros there. And he was like, I can't remember his name, but he was like in his 50s and he was bald. And he came up on stage. He was quite miserable, and he just said, I've recently moved, tried to move back in with my parents." And he just looked at everyone. Everyone's gone really quiet because obviously he let people take that in for a minute because he's an older gentleman. He's quite intense.
Yeah.
He's now trying to move back in with parents. And the punchline was, he goes, "So I've tried to move back in with parents." He goes, "But I couldn't fit my bollocks in the urn." Right?
Okay.
Because
Brilliant.
his parents are dead,
Yeah,
and
no,
moving back in with
I
them,
thought he was going to go,
amazing.
but cemeteries close at 10 o'clock or
No,
something.
it couldn't fit my bollocks in the urn, and the
Yeah.
room, honestly, for the simplicity of that joke, the room roared with laughter, and that was his opening joke.
Yeah.
Bang, that's what he said. Because my ears perked up, because living with your parents, I can relate to that, blah blah blah, and all that. And then when he was like, "Couldn't get my bollocks in the urn," I was like, I don't know why, but it's just stuck with me because it's a very simple joke,
Yeah.
but very well structured. Very good way to break the ice. We know what this guy's going to be about now,
Yeah.
um, and I don't know what to expect going forward, but it's going to be bad, and that's kind of strap in for
Yeah.
this. It's brilliant, and
I
that's
mean,
what I like.
I love them one, Simplistic Genius. I had one similar the other day. I can't remember where I heard it from, but this isn't my joke. There's two priest fathers driving down the road. Police pulls them over and goes, "Oh, sorry, fathers, we were looking for two paedophiles." And they go, "Oh, we'll do it." It's so simple.
That's great. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like that. We're looking for the. Oh, don't worry, we got this. That's my type of joke. That's funny as fuck. I
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
But see,
good
them
shit.
sort of one-liners I love, and I can have a one-liner every now and then. But
Yeah,
if
yeah,
I had a
mixing
whole
it in because that's what makes comedy great, isn't it? You want to hear some actual jokes, like some jokes you can take away and tell your mates. Like
yeah,
that's what you want, but you also want someone that's a bit personable that takes you on a bit of a journey. I find, and I find that I've met a lot of comedians that take you on funny journeys, and what I like is the different journeys people have. So for example, like Alan, right? He talks about ADHD. You have ADHD. I have ADHD. It's three people that have ADHD. If you're a comedian, you don't have ADHD. I think you're weird, right? So we all have it, right? But how many different ways are there to talk about having ADHD in a funny way? There are so many different ways.
yeah,
So you respect people for taking the premise and talking about it in a different way in their experience. That's what I like because you might hear something that either opens a door for you. Someone gave me a joke the other day and it was brilliant. And he was like, I think, or he gave me the premise. I came off stage. Again, you said about unsolicited advice.
yeah,
It was a bit of a weird one because he said, I love your joke about this. He said, the only thing that I thought in my head after that was this. And I said, that's really fucking funny.
yeah,
And it wasn't like he was giving me advice. He just kind of said, you're really funny. That was great. I thought this at the end. And I
yeah.
thought to myself, you know what? That's common ground. That's why I like talking to comedians because you've opened up a door that I didn't think anyone else would
Oh,
have done.
I mean, well, that's what I love about doing this podcast because I've had so many sort of like people like forming jokes. And
Ideas.
it was like one guy I had about 3, 4 days ago about how like why are all vape pens sweet flavored, not savoury.
Yeah.
Like like you
Yeah.
can have like a cheese
I like
ball flavors, things like the one I'm writing at the moment.
cheese and
And
onion crisps. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Get a packet of Walkers. That'd be.
after a roast dinner, you feel like you can't eat anymore, so you've got a Yorkshire pudding vape to continue the flavour.
Yeah,
Like,
Yorkshire gravy.
yeah, there's unlimited options. The one I'm
Just
writing at the moment, and I'm
put
probably gonna,
gravy in the vape pen.
the one I'm doing at
Pisto, pisto vape juice. Your one you're doing at the moment is
the one
what?
I'm doing, at the moment, and I'm really trying to, I'm going to try and get ready for Saturday. I'm probably going to try on Saturday, but I don't know if it's sort of my cup of tea. It's about fingering, and if you're posh, you finger with your pinky finger, but if you're working class, you use the thumb. And like
Yeah,
it's like the
yeah.
class system opens up to crowd work. Like, oh, what finger do you use your missus? Hoping they say, oh, two fingers. Oh, she's up for threesomes. I don't. I think there's something there.
Well, I think this is where off the cuff happens because if you speak to the crowd, I think sometimes there's such a thing as a good heckle. Sometimes I like someone shouting stuff out because a lot of the time they're not doing it to be malicious. They're doing it because something you've said has resonated with them and they want to add their input and it
Yeah,
might make it funnier. Sometimes it's not necessary, but if you're the type of comedian that thrives off of stuff like that, when I do like it, when I hear a random voice, I'm like, all right, let's see what you got to fucking say,
yeah,
dickhead. Let's go. You jump off of it. I like, yeah, I think that's where that comes from. So, if you've got a premise on it and you're speaking to someone, see what they think about the whole thing. Because I had it with my missus got me a card for Christmas, and it had the scratch and win on the front of it, and match three to win. I did this joke. I said, "Oh, I never win on these things. Like any scratch card, it's just going to be fucking. Do you know what I mean? It would just be disappointment." I was like, so I
Yeah,
scratched it off. First one said, and then I asked the crowd, "What do you think it said?" And every time you ask them what they think it said, you either get a really drab answer or a really funny answer,
yeah,
and either way, you can make it funny. So if they say one free hug. I'm like, right, so she's got me a card that says free hug, mate. How lonely are you? Do you know what I
brilliant.
mean? It's
Yeah,
funny. Then if someone turns around and says hand job, you'd be like, oh, I fucking wish it did. No, it said blowjob, mate. He said, what did the second one say? You asked someone else. Because the first one said blowjob, you ask the second person, they're now thinking dirty. So they go anal. You go, blowjob and anal, mate, that's a good Friday night, isn't
yeah.
it? Right.
It was
And
only a
then you
pound
ask,
scratch card. Fuck's sake.
yeah, exactly. And then you say, right, no, the second one said blowjob. Then you ask the third person, you said, what do you think the third one said? If they say blowjob, you get a big cheer because three, you've won a blowjob, right? If they say something different, again, you can combine it. You go blowjob, anal, and fisting. Bro, you need to go on the sex registers list. Like, do you know what I mean? And then you make it funny. And then you rely on the crowd to give you that input. And so you've got a joke structured, but there are parts in it that you have to fill the gaps with other people to make it about them. That's what I enjoy doing. So maybe you do that with it. You know, if you're talking about fingering, say, look, mate, how do you finger a bird? I fist her. So, God, mate, last week I spoke to a bloke and he said that he did his palm open. Do you know what I mean? You know, I spoke to someone and he said, feed it palms flat like a horse. You know, there's an array of different things you can say. You can then bring up other shows.
Yo, Daniel, we're going into business together. You've just given us a multi-million-pound idea. Sex scratch cards. You don't know what it's going to be until you scratch it off.
Yeah, exactly. Who
You could
redeems
sell
it
them
though?
in
Because
sex shops for
well,
50p a card. That is
I,
multi-million-pound idea right there.
yeah, because I said this. I said my missus didn't redeem the scratch card, but my the guy at my local corner shop did. So
Brilliant.
I was good. So you can end it like that. But yeah, exactly. Multi-million pound idea, mate. Just by me writing a joke about something stupid.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
the-
Dragon's Den, here we come.
exactly.
I would love to come in someone's Dragon's Den.
Brilliant. I mean, but with my sort of ones, I do like basic bitch close questions, and I do this one every single set, and it never fails to get a chuckle. You know when you feel it's so low hanging, it feels like cheating.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's so simple. Oh, like before I do the
Tastes
gay,
sweet though, doesn't it?
like before I do the gay bit. Oh, is anyone here gay tonight? Yes. Oh, thanks for coming out.
That's funny.
It's so simple. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it's cheating.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I wrote one like that actually. Really weird that it felt a bit like that. It's more it is so there was a gay guy in the audience and I said, oh, I've got a gay joke for you if you want, mate. He said, yeah, go on then. I said, oh, I was smoking weed with my gay mate the other day. And I said, oh, can I borrow your grinder? And he turned around
Yeah.
and said, get your own profile. And
That's great.
and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I wrote that. I was really proud of that. And I said it to this guy. He's like this. And as soon as I said, get your own profile, he went, and like that. And I was like, wham, like that, because he obviously has grinder. He's obviously been on it. Like, and he obviously smoked a bit of weed in his time. So he knew both bits. And then it was like, you're
Like this
gay.
joke's for me.
Yeah, you're gay. This is for you. You know, I did it a few weeks ago. Oh my God. It was fucking hilarious. There was a guy, and he was, it was at a table and I noticed the comedian spoke to him. He said, how you doing, sir? Who you here with? And he was like, I'm here with my family.
Mm.
And they were speaking, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And I didn't see the bloke, but I could see the family. It was like a comedy and buffet night. So you had
Yeah.
buffet food, then comedy. And there was about 60 people in there. Anyway, I headlined. It was my time to get up on stage. So I got up on stage. And the first thing that happened is I looked at this guy and it was an Indian guy. And the rest of the table were all white. And he was the guy that said, this is my family. And
Mm.
I was shocked by it, right? I didn't expect it. But I looked at him and I just turned to him. First thing I said to him, I was like, how you doing, mate? You're here with your family, did you say? He said, yes, I am. I said, wow. I said, how much money do you have to go out and buy a fucking family? And the whole room lost it. The whole room lost it, right? They couldn't believe that I said it. And that guy, he then, after the laughter died down, I looked at him and just went quiet and waited for him to answer. And he just said, I've got all the motherfucking money. And the whole room applauded him. So
Yeah,
he got his win, I got my laugh. And then it
yeah,
was like, hi, I'm Dan. It was such a good way to open the show. But
yeah,
again, it was a moment that genuinely shocked me. I didn't see him. There was knowledge in my head that, oh, they've spoken to a guy that's part of a family. He's here tonight. Get up on stage, took me back a little bit. I was like, you're here with your family? Yeah. Said that. And then that was it. So that was the authenticity behind that. So again, those are the types of things that they're low hanging fruit, but because they're there, like grab them if they're there, man. If no one else is grabbing it, grab it.
yeah.
Like
I mean,
yeah,
I get no because I'd say I am the best in the world at Captain Hindsight.
right. Okay,
Like
are
I
you?
do it on the drive home. I'll be like, "Fuck, should have said that."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, see, this is one for me. So I never really walk away from conversations thinking I wish I'd said this, but I do wish things went another way.
Yeah,
So
okay.
instead of like hindsight saying I should have said this, I say, oh, I wish that happened.
Mm,
I wish when that guy said this, that happened because my head makes up funnier situations
yeah,
afterwards. As in, can you imagine if this similar, but like situations more? So I get that. It's annoying, isn't it?
I tell you, one of the best bits of crowd work I've ever seen. Do you watch a lot of Kill Tony?
So I do and I don't, right? So I do like Tony, but the premise of the show just I do. I watch
Mm.
some of it. It's not my first go-to watch. There's a
Right.
couple of guys on there I love. I love.
There's the
So
guy who
yeah.
wears the jacket, who's like the Jersey guy. I can't remember his name on it, but he does this great. I thought it was absolutely genius. He starts his set like, "So what do you do for a living?" I'm a plumber. No. Okay. What do you do for a living? I'm a pilot. For fuck's sake. No. What do you do for a living? He does about five people, and he's like, for fuck's sake, I'm just trying to find a gateway into this sushi chef joke. And I just thought, does anyone here work at an airport sushi restaurant? There
Wow,
was
that's
no joke,
amazing.
nothing. And I thought that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like,
So,
it's a,
yeah, so again, stupid stuff. This is what I say. I like stupid comedy. So I did it the other way. This shocked people more than it made them laugh. It was quite funny. So I just walked up on stage and I said, "Oh, sorry, I have to bring a bottle of water on stage with me every time I perform because I'm really bad at drinking water. Is anyone else out there bad at drinking water?" And then a couple of people were like, "Yeah, me." I was like, "Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me." And then I take a sip of water, and then as I go to say my next thing, I choke on the water and spit
brilliant.
it over myself. And you get some people kind of go backwards, and then some people up, and then you kind of like choke a bit more, get a few more titters out of it, put your water down, say, I really am bad at it, and then everyone laughs, and it's so stupid because if like, how can you be bad at drinking water?
Yeah.
Like you should, but people are. And I just, it's stupidity that makes me laugh the most, man. Like I really like stupidity. Stupidity is the thing that makes me just like it tickles my pickle, mate.
Well, I did this one genuinely by mistake the other day. No, the other day, I'm fucking about 12 years ago, where the brain just goes,
That's the other day to me.
shouldn't have said it. And like, what was it? Someone's like, "Oh, my dog died yesterday." And I was like, "Well, technically, you haven't got a dog anymore." And I don't know why I said that. And you feel like a prick because I mean, I'd be heartbroken if my dog's died. It's like ex
Yeah,
dog.
but you've come to a comedy show and you've said that, so you expect it. Do you know
No,
what
I
I mean?
said this
Don't.
in the office.
Oh, okay, all right, okay, that's bad,
Fucking
but that's
HR
still
meetings,
funny,
wet dream. Right.
bruv. Oh, the show that you missed actually, which was Ben's one, there was something so funny happened. I was talking about my missus, and as I was talking about my missus, the couple, the old people around the corner with a
Yeah.
dog, their dog barked. And my brain, I just went, "Yes, I'm coming, honey. I've just got 5 minutes, all right." And everyone laughed because it was so fucking quick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things that you can't plan stuff like that. And if it comes out, like just like if you got a laugh out of it, then yeah. But I don't go out there aiming to offend people.
No.
But if it happens, it happens. You know?
Sometimes intrinsic, the ADHD kicks in. What I thought was weird, like on the news the other day, it was a news alert. Johnny Vegas has been diagnosed with ADHD. And I was like, no fucking shit.
Oh
Like,
God, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's fine. No, do you know what I thought? Yeah, I know. Fucking, yeah. There's a lot of shit that comes up in the media that's portrayed around ADHD, and when you have it. and you know that it's being kind of blown out of proportion a little bit,
Mm.
it's just a little bit. It does annoy me because obviously when you've had to live with it every single day of your life, and then some fucker just acts like a prick and says, "Oh, it's my ADHD."
Yeah.
You say that's not what ADHD does, though, is it, mate? It
No.
doesn't make you misbehave. Like it can,
Mm.
but it's not the sole cause of it, you know. So,
Exactly. A million percent. Well, I never do it in my set. I've stopped doing it now because I hate people who give a fucking diagnostic of their health as their opener. Hi, so yeah, I'm an ADHD, autistic, overweight comedian. It's like,
oh, you'll love mine.
no,
You'll
oh,
love
okay.
mine.
I don't like it. I don't
No, I'm
like it
joking.
because I feel like it sets a pretense of okay, if I don't, if I'm not funny, then this is the reason
The
why.
blame. Yeah, yeah, no. So I go the other way with it. So I talk about problems that I have, but how I cope with them day to day, how other people either may experience these problems and have them themselves, or how if you don't experience them, how someone else might be experiencing
No,
these
but
issues.
I
Like,
mean, in your open line, that's
oh
their
God,
first
no.
line. That's what I
No,
don't like. Even in your
no,
second bit, no problem. Third bit, no
no,
problem. But in your
no,
opening line, I don't
no.
like that.
No, I try and change my opening every single time, and I've got something that I said to Ben actually. I'm so excited to do on Saturday because I came up with this premise and this joke, and I thought about it sort of about an hour before I did a show, and then I went up there and I did it, and it got more of a laugh than I anticipated on the bit that I didn't think would, and then the punchline got even more of a laugh, and I was like, okay, I'm onto something here.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, that's a good premise, so let's build on that.
yeah,
And I'm really excited to. So when you get a joke like that you're excited to do
yeah.
because you know in your heart of hearts that it's a genuine thought, it's funny, and it works, wicked stuff.
Oh,
You know
when it
what I
makes
mean?
you laugh and you get excited,
Oh,
like
mate,
oh,
it's
like
rare. It's rare. It's rare. That's why I try not to write stuff down. But when I had a funny thought about something and then I tested it, I kind of dipped my toes in the water and got a big laugh out of it. I was like, okay, there's something here. So I know what to do with it. So, and I know what I know what I'm doing with it. So, Saturday you'll see it. I don't want to ruin anything, but it's just a funny concept. But that's how I open. So my opening. Normally, what I try to do is I try to open with something about where I am or whatever, and then do an actual opening joke and then see what happens from there. That's kind of how it works.
okay.
It's
I mean,
like a wedding, something blue, something new, something borrowed.
and a Jew, no.
Yeah, and a partridge in a fucking pear tree. Yeah.
Partridge in a pear tree in a bucket, 3 of 3. Go on, Dan. I'm gonna call it there, mate, because you got to get home and we're gonna be here all fucking night.
Was that good for you, mate? I feel like it's sex. Was that nice? Was that good for you?
I mean, we're still recording, so usually I pause it before we talk about it. But yeah, absolutely perfect, mate. God, oh God, I'm not going to stop pressing record until we leave it, so they can see how I usually end it afterwards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can see how you finish, mate.
behind the
Let's
scenes.
let's see how you
Oh,
finish. Let's see your face twitch as you
yeah.
finish.
Can you
That's
just look
just
up at me with glaring eyes, please, while
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
do
Can
my
can you
climax?
now that new thing's cross-eyed now? That's what people like hentai cross-eye, isn't it? Can you cross your eyes and put your tongue out, please? That'd be lovely. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, what they called? Oh great, okay. I've got to wait. I've got to pretend I don't know what it is for 10 seconds first. So what
Yeah,
is it called?
yeah,
What is it? Why you?
mm,
Why? Wagyu?
yeah.
No, that's the beef.
And now you say the real answer.
No, genuinely, I actually no. I did that as a bit, hoping it would have actually come to my head. Why you? Wow. You know, like the I'm in the mall. That's the
Yeah,
cancel bit. There we go. There's the cancel bit. Fuck me.
yeah.
Like,
There you go. Yeah, accents are gonna get me cancelled one day. I'll tell you that now.
mm. But
Because I have no filter for them. I like doing accents and I do them well, so it's funny.
do you always have like a. Oh, we're still fucking going now, aren't we? Do you have like that word that puts you onto the accent? You know, like Jamaicans say bacon as beer can.
No, no. There are some accents where if you want to like, I guess, train your tongue or your dialect, there are things that yeah, there are ways. But generally speaking, I try to just if I hear someone speak, right, like if I hear someone Irish speak or whatever, I just pick up on keywords that they say, and generally speaking, I can fill gaps with those keywords because of vowels and
Okay.
things like that. So
What's the hardest
consonants.
accent for you?
South African can be quite difficult because people can say that it can come off like sounding
Okay.
like
Guild tongue? No.
no, because you kind of like they kind of I got a mate called Tofik, Mr. T his name is, he's a comedian, And he comes and he says stuff to me. He's like, "Do you find my accent funny, bro? Eh? Like
Yeah,
that?
bro, bro,
Bro, like that? They
bro.
speak a bit like that, eh? Like, and they kind of do these things where they kind of accentuate their accent on certain words, like
That's not
that.
Australian.
That exactly the problem. See, that's why I say that doing that is hard to do because if you're gonna do Australian, you do g'day, things like that. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
just
And it goes high pitch. It's hard.
my mate Nolan. He's from South Africa. You know, he's a. I was about to say he's one of the white guys. I don't know why.
Okay,
There's the cancel there again.
he's
Fuck
from
me.
Joburg. He's
But
from
he
Joburg.
at home he has a say a Christmas tree the size of a Christmas tree, but it's not a Christmas tree. It's a cannabis tree, but it's the size of a Christmas tree, and they decorate it every year.
That's, do they smoke it?
They smoke, yeah, they smoke, but it's when they was like going to the apple tree and picking an apple off. It's
Oh
like
my
that
God,
all
that's
year
yeah,
round, but a
imagine that for
cannabis
a
tree.
fucking that's fucking ridiculous. So Christmas is literally every day of the year that way, isn't it, for them? That's fantastic. I like
100,
that.
yeah,
But then again, like it's nice to have a cannabis Christmas tree in your living room, but then you look out your window and people are getting shot. Like it's fine line, isn't
no,
there?
don't be,
Yeah.
no, no, you're being ridiculous there. Obviously, he's a gated community. You know?
Oh, okay,
I did say he was
okay.
white, like, you know.
Yeah, okay. So outside the gates, so it's like Game of Thrones. They don't venture outside of the wall. Yeah,
Exactly, yeah,
yeah, exactly. The wall. Yeah, that is it. South Africa is the wall. Yeah,
well,
I get it. Here's Jon Snow. He's John Sand. He's
it's,
John.
it's like you know where everyone goes, oh, I love going to like uh Jamaica for the you know what are they called, the holiday places, but it's like, but you can't
Like
leave.
Benidorm, like
Not
Benidorm,
not Benidorm, no, but you can't leave the
the resort.
Confine.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
It's
Kind of
like if you go
like
five
a
minutes
timeshare.
outside,
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like a
sandals, like
yeah,
sandals.
like sandals.
It was sandals in Jamaica. It's like you're
Okay,
not allowed to leave the confine because then
right.
you actually see the true what it's like. But everyone's like, oh, it's lovely there. It's like, yeah, but you're in a gated community relying on impoverished people's cheap labour.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then if you take the time to look over that wall, there are dead bodies everywhere, and
Yeah,
just like yeah, exactly. Like there's a reason why the taxi here had bulletproof glass and a
exactly.
convoy of police. Yeah, you are. Yeah, exactly. We need to get you to your hotel that you've booked on Trivago
Yeah, exactly.
safely. Yeah, so you can have your steak and chips and watch Netflix with a bit of sun.
Yeah,
Yeah, but don't
Uh,
you dare hang a St. George's flag here, you cunts.
yeah.
That's that.
But you get annoyed if you can't have a Sunday roast.
Yeah, Sunday roast for me aren't that type of thing that I get annoyed if I go on holiday and can't fucking. I can't afford a holiday to be honest. So a holiday, even if they feed me fucking beans, I'm happy. I'm just happy to be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
Also, what
happy
do the
to
rest
be
of the
there.
world have against baked beans?
I actually watched an interview the other day with MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, where they
Yeah,
do the American versus English food.
yeah.
And he had a plate of American breakfast and English breakfast, and the American breakfast was just pancakes, and the English breakfast was a fry up. And he was like, "You've done Americans' breakfast really bad here because I'm going to vote for England." And he took a spoon of the beans, and I was like, "Here we go. He's going to fucking kick off about." And he was like, "They're really good beans." First time I've ever heard an American say that they like baked beans. I was like, "My guy."
Yeah, but then also it's got to be Heinz or Branson. Throwing it out there. Any other?
I love. I do love a Branson baked beans. I'll agree with you on that. Branson baked beans, the juice, the sauce is something else.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I'm having for dinner now. Chips, cod, baked beans. Job done.
I've been really craving a poor man sandwich recently. A
For a
proper
sandwich.
nice, no, a proper nice cheese toasty. But I might make it a rich man's cheese toasty and do it
How's
with
that?
like
No,
nice.
poor man's sandwich is two bits of bread and some crisps.
No, I tell you what is a fucking poor man sandwich. My mate did this for my other mate when we were younger, and we only just found
A
out
friend of a
about it
friend
recently.
apparently did this vulgar
No,
thing.
mate. So my mate, we say that my mate grew up in abject poverty. He lived down the same road as me, but it was two very different households. If you ever opened my mate's fridge, there was literally nothing apart from milk, which you were not allowed to drink because that was for his dad's tea. And there was
I'm
like
already
block.
guessing full fat milk here. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think it was Blue Top, yeah,
Yeah,
and
standard.
like a block of cheese and a block of butter. That's all that would be in his fridge, right? And like cheap loaf of bread. and it only just came out the other day. There would always be eggs in the fridge, always eggs, but it only just came out the other day that one of my mates, he said, "Do you know, I went round there when we were like 14 and I said, I'm hungry. And he said, I'll make you a sandwich if you want. And do you know what this fucking cunt made me? I said, what did he make you? He said, he made me a cheese sandwich with no butter
Oh, okay.
and like, yeah, just cheese, yeah, and butter, just cheese and bread, right? And he said, he said, it just, the whole thing stuck to the roof of my mouth. And he said, I'm still picking bits out now. It was that dry. Can you imagine being made a cheese sandwich with thick cut cheese, like block cheese, and cheap, shitty
No, it's
white
got to be
bread?
grated. I know.
Bruv, yeah.
I know we
Ah,
did
I
when we
could
were at uni. We had like in the halls first year party, and
pot
someone
noodle
took a
sandwich.
no. Someone at the party, someone took. I think her name was Chloe, and someone took a bite of cheese out of her cheese in the fridge, and
What, and left like a cartoon bite out of
yeah,
it.
and she kicked off about it. But you know, it's like trolls on the internet. Don't let anyone know something's bothered you. So every time my mate came round, he always took a bite of cheese out of her cheese.
Oh, you took a bite out of a cheese. That's fucking amazing.
Every
Yeah.
single time. And she actually had to end up buying a little fridge for her room to store her cheese in.
That's amazing.
It's
That's
just,
that's that's so bad. A little fridge to store a cheese in because someone's being a cunt. Bruv, we're still going on, but this is funny. Me and my mates used to play a game where so this same mate that I told you about just now who made that cheese sandwich, he's my best mate. His name's Jake, right? Me and him have been little cunts ever since we were like 12 years old. And even now we like fucking about. And whenever we'd meet up with my group of mates, when it was just me and him, we would have this game, and it got widely known to my group of friends, and it was called the I've Done Something game, right? And the only rule of the game was you could do something to your mate, and it could be a number of things. It mainly involved hiding one of their belongings. That was the main
like
aim of the
on the
game.
day. It's like you take their
On
phone or
the
something.
day,
Okay.
yeah, on the day. So when they come round or whatever to your flat or like you're around theirs or whatever, it was mainly their things, and it was like things like shoes. So you take their best pair of shoes that you knew that they were going to wear if they were going out or whatever, and you would just hide them, maybe in two different places. The only other rule of the game was that you had to announce that you had done something, and the only way that you did it was by saying, "I've done something." So if
Okay.
you said, "I've done something," and even if you say it now to my mates, PTSD, right? Because one of my mates is a police officer. I stole his badge and hid that, and he was freaking the fuck out because if you lose it, you get in so much trouble.
Yeah.
He thought that I had it, I was going to fuck around with it, blah, blah, blah. Stole his badge, put his shoes on like a skylight on the roof on a three-story house, so he saw them as he came in. He couldn't get them back down. Stole my mate's missus' shoes and hid them, and my mate drove from his house to ours to kick off and find out where they were. Mate, things got taken, things got hidden. They always ended up finding him back. But the whole premise of the game was to do something, admit that you'd done it, and not tell anyone what you'd done or until
Yeah.
they'd found it themselves, right?
Get them to breaking point.
Get them to break. No, but they had to find it themselves. You could leave and say, I've done something. And sometimes they wouldn't even know what you've done. You could, like, I might have, I don't know, put something in someone's jacket pocket
Mm.
and said, I've done something and left. And they would find it 3 weeks later
Yeah.
something that would incriminate them. So they banned that game. So if you play that game where you say, I've done something to my group of mates, they will fucking kick off. So you can't do it. So I understand what it's like being a little cunt. Taking a bite out of someone's cheese, though, I might start doing that because that's
Yeah.
funny.
Or the other one we used to just do at uni, and it was so random. You just take an egg out of the fridge and go catch,
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
and then just
That's
go
good.
like similar.
Yeah.
Go, Dan, we got a fucking bounce, man.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
No,
Stop recording. Stop recording.
no. I was saying, guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Yeah,
He's he's
cheers.
he's pushing me away now. He's like, no, I'm not wrapping up recording. I'm getting you to fuck off. Dan, I'll see you Saturday.
Much
Thank
love,
you.
brother.